out there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry, I was just eating some chips. Baked sour cream, cheddar and sour cream ruffles. Oh my gosh, they're so good. They're so crispy, so crunchy. I was going to grab myself something to drink too, but I'm all out of Crystal Light. I don't feel like water. And, that's pretty much what I drink. So, anywho, I'm just waiting for this to pop up on my laptop so I can share to my Facebook page. If anybody's out there, I don't see anybody quite yet, but that doesn't mean that you're not watching on your side and I just don't see it. Okay. Oh, that did not work for me either. Let's try that again. There we go. There we go. Here we are. And we are going to just pop on, Control copy, pop over to the good old Facebook. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I will just get started here in a moment with an introduction. Once I can get this. Technology today is not in my forte. Okay, create post. For some odd reason, it's not just taking me where I need to go. Okay, come and watch. Come and watch over on the YouTube. Right? Watch over on the YouTube. Okay. Publish. Boom. And there we go. Okay, well, welcome. My name is Elizabeth Giles with Stampin' Unicorns. I am in central Wisconsin. I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 20 years, and I just love to create and share and just have fun. So when you pop on, make sure to say hello. Hello, Carol. If you are not from the area, please let me know where you are from. We always like to see where our friends are from. So like I said, I'm in the central Wisconsin area, which is Marshfield, Wisconsin. I've lived in this area almost all my life, in the surrounding communities. But, that snow, sometimes I just want to get out, right? Oh, Texas. All right. Hello, Carol. And purple hearts, my favorite. I love the color purple. Today is my husband's birthday. So happy birthday to Mr. Brian Giles. I also found out that he is no longer on Facebook. Must have happened this weekend. I was gone for the weekend, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. But good for him. But when I went to tag him today for his birthday, I'm like, where are you? I literally just tagged you last weekend when we were at the zoo volunteering and some other things. So it was a little like, okay, all right, well, but anyhow, so happy birthday to him. And we are going to go to a movie later, which is why I am on early tonight. So that should be fun and something that we don't get to do very often. He will be at I think he just got home from coaching, and then he has a board of directors meeting for MAPS, which is our local pet shelter, Marshfield area pet shelter. So busy people we are, but we're going to try and make that movie because it's $5 movie night on Tuesdays, right? So, okay. Well, this past weekend, I had a wonderful opportunity to go to, a couple of things. I went up to Merrill on Friday night and chillaxed with some of these ladies. Sean, one of them. Hello, Sean. What movie are we going to? I think it's called Drop. It's about this man and woman, and it's like a blind date or something. But then she is text that she needs to kill him. And it's like all this mystery, like who it's about and whatnot. So check out that. I think that's what it's called, but nonetheless. So yeah, Friday night I was at a scrapbooking event, just kind of hanging out. I worked on a couple paper pumpkins and brought my computer along, thought I would get some computer work done, which I did not. Oh well. And then Saturday I zoomed down to Peoria, Illinois. And when I say zoomed, it's a 5.5 hour drive from my house. And we had a demonstrator event there, technically on Sunday, but Saturday night they had a shoebox swap. So we went down and participated in the shoebox swap, and then Sunday did the event. Hello, Joanne. And it was just super nice to get together with people of like mind. I could have done without the 5.5 hour drive, but hey, survived. And then I also had the pleasure, I don't know how much of a pleasure it is, but I was a presenter at this event. So I did not tell very many people, but tonight I'm going to share with you 2 techniques that I shared at this event so that you can see, and I'll share the projects that I presented as well. So I was presenting with another lady, Debbie, and we were in charge of utilizing the new templates. I kept saying techniques, templates in the catalog, but I did show 2 techniques. And I've got something in my eye all of a sudden. I think an eyelash. Okay. Yeah. Better. Okay. So I'm going to show you that. We're going to make the card. The other object is a scrapbook page, so we're not going to make that, but I will just show that to you. And yeah, just have some fun. So I hope all of you guys had a wonderful weekend. Tell me what you did or wish you would have done. Do you have anything coming up this coming weekend with Easter? Are you visiting some peoples? You know, all that good jazz. I always love to hear what everybody's doing to see what's going on. And then I did choose, oh my goodness, nope, that did not go away. I still got something in my eye. Okay, maybe it's gone now. Sorry about that, guys, but can't mess around when it comes to your eyeballs. Nobody wants me to go blind, I'm sure. But when you comment, you get your name plugged in to win. And I take comments all the way up until the time of my next week's video. So whether it's on the live or on the replay, you get your name put in. And if we get up to 30 thumbs up and 30 likes on the video, I'm going to give away a $15 gift certificate. One thing to note is that when you do give the thumbs up, make sure you comment thumbs up or liked so that I know I can go back and check for those people that have done that. Plus, that comment also gets you in to win the card that we're making. So it's twofold, right? It lets me know and it lets you into that drawing. Hello, Mary Kay. Thank you, you guys. So we have from last week our winner, and she was not live. She won afterwards, is Miss Sharon. And Sharon, I totally misspelled your last name, so I just ripped it off. Thanks, guys. Look at that. Yes, thumbs up for sure. I see them rolling in here now. That helps me out a lot. And congratulations to Miss Sharon. I will put that with your stuff. So if you didn't see last week, we did a step up version. So we did simple, medium, and extravagant. So make sure to check that video out from last week if you did not see it. Okay. I think we're going to get rolling on watching with my head in the well, I just got out of the shower, so if that helps. Yes, I am early because today is Brian's birthday, so we're gonna go to a movie later. But let's go ahead and flip the camera around. I'm gonna show you the card that we're making, and kind of let's just go from there. So again, I'm gonna point you guys up to my ceiling first, and then it always takes like 2 times for my camera to switch. Not really sure. It's just very sensitive. And then let's adjust it just a smidge here. Ooh, we need to be more straight than that. Okay, I think that's looking pretty decent. I want to move you up. Okay, so here is the card. Let me hear those oohs and ahs. Yes. So this, if you have the new catalog, this is the template number 1 for the cards. At least my version of it. You can take a look at the template in there and see what you think. And then I am using the Impression Blooms stamp set. Now this is a brand new stamp set that will be released May 6th. It's an online exclusive, so you won't see it in the annual catalog, but it is there for all of our loving. I just really love how many dies and everything that's in this set. So you can see you have the details, which we're going to use, the outlines, then you have these beautiful frames as well. We're going to do it all. Honestly, we are. Okay, so let's go ahead and just get started. We need some cardstock first. And for our cardstock, I wonder if this is the right size. It kind of looks like it is. Super! For whatever reason, I got some of this up here. Oh, I see why. I needed to replace my cutting blade. But this is going to be just fine for the overlay. So for our pieces, we're using fresh freesia. And whenever I do embossing on the front, I will cut an additional piece because nobody likes a flimsy card. If I were to just emboss this front piece, it would break these fibers of the cardstock and cause it to go all kittywampus and just not stand up. We don't want that. We do not want that. So we are just going to get our card base. So this is 4 1/4 by 11 and then scored at 5 1/2. And then this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And that's going to sit over the top. We will need some white. Is this going to be big enough for one? Oh, no. Let's just grab some white. White, I use so much of the scraps up right away. I'm just going to cut this at 5 1/2 because we're going to be cutting this frame and then that inside piece. And also we'll be stamping some white on there. We need a scrap of soft sea foam. I couldn't think of that name the other day at all. And then we're throwing a little pop of color into it with, let's see, peach pie. So here's the colors we got. You can't really see the soft sea foam, but these are the colors we are working with today. Yes, queen. Is that going to be long enough? Oh, that's going to be perfect. I'm just going to cut that down. What size is that? I made this card a bit ago. 3/4 and then by like 3 1/4. Okay. Let's get stamping. And then we'll get the machine out and do our machine stuff. So the Stampin' first. We have the Impressions Bloom. It is photopolymer. Look, see, I played around with it first. I didn't like it on the purple, but I did like it on the white. So we're going to keep that. We got some little trinkets there. And I just am stamping this piece Oh my goodness. And this piece. And then we need our inside pieces. And the rest is die cut. Woo! Yes, early bird special tonight. All right. Speaking of which, what are you guys having for supper? Early bird special, huh? For this particular stamp, there's this one that is longer that sticks out. So that's what I'm going to use when I try and line up. It's just easier for me to find out one distinction and go from there. And then our insides. Okay, let's grab our foam mat. These are photopolymer, so to get a good image, you want to have your foam mat. And we're going to stamp the back side, the background in Fresh Freesia, and then we're going to bring in Petunia Pop. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be so sad when Petunia Pop leaves us, honestly. Okay, let's go ahead. You know, I just realized we need this inside piece too, because that's important. So I just stamp 2 of them. And the reason why I do this is because I'm adding an additional stamp over the top. And sometimes I don't do the best. So, you know, I'm going to pick which one I like the best. So I'm going to line up this long extended one. And honestly, I think maybe I should do this the other way. You know what? When I stamp the one for the inside, we're going to stamp it backwards. Well, not really backwards, but let me just cut a piece for the inside real quick. So 4 inches by 5 1/4. All right. Yeah. Sometimes gotta look ahead. Okay. So the inside where we have, the word thanks and then our image. So I'm going to stamp the image over there, but this time I'm going to stamp the detailed part first and then stamp the background. And I always forget about that when we have something like this. I do feel like stamping the detailed in the dark when I'm stamping a lighter background. Look at how easy that is for me to see. Oh yeah, you guys definitely do it that way. Look at how nice. I mean, they all kind of stamped nice, but definitely a lot easier that way. Okay, next we are going to stamp our inside. And this, we are going to use just one color. And we will stamp off. So I just have a piece of scrap paper. We'll stamp off. Stamp our middle. If you had like a side project or something, I feel like these little polka dots would look super cute as a background. So if you're going to make like a lot of these cards, absolutely use that first stamped on something like that. Oh, these are so good. Looking so good. Looking so fun. Okay, next we have stamping. We need the I appreciate you. And then thanks, which I did not grab out. Luckily, it's not too far away. It was so funny. So me and Debbie, or Debbie and I should say, both picked the same stamp set to do our presentation with. Like, we did not collaborate at all. It was absolutely hilarious. Okay. That's kind of a big block, but hey, I'm just grabbing all the things. Okay. So thanks is going to go in the middle. Beautiful. And then I appreciate you. And you definitely want to stamp in the Petunia Pop on this one. I used the other color, and it definitely did not stamp dark enough. Boop. There we go. Okay. I think we got all of our stamping done now. Let's do some embossing and some die cutting. If you do not have the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, I highly recommend it. It's such an easy system to use. And you get all the plates, everything you need. Then you just buy like the additional embossing folders or anything like that. So we are going to be using this exposed brick embossing folder. And that is going to be our whole front piece. If you want to line it up, there, it's kind of hard to see on this one. But this line from Stampin' Up, you can absolutely use that to line it up so that it's totally straight, right? I am not that anal, but sometimes you need it. Okay, so this is a 3D embossing folder. And what that means is when we look on this plate, we are going to do 3D embossing folder, and we need number 1, which this is, and then number 4. And that's what I use to run my sandwich through. Now when we use dies, we're going to use 2 number 3 plates, then a thin number 2, and then still this number 1. It tells you everything you need there. And the other nice thing, and I know you can get these machines elsewhere, right? I get that. We're all cost conscious. Like, it is what it is these days, right? But I just got to move my chair out of the way. Sorry. But when you buy from Stampin' Up, they are going to like go right by you. So if they're going to do you right, I should say. So if there is some reason why your machine doesn't work or something happens, I've had them replace machines before, like say it's just not running through correctly, something busts up. I've also had them give me 50% off a new machine after like years of using it. Like, just crazy stuff. So they stand by. They stand by all of that. But I want that one. The one I have. Oh, sometimes. Yes. I get that. Okay. There we go. I don't have my tools, my appropriate tools out, so I'm just going to beat these things so that they come out. Oh, I'm going to have to grab my tool. Oh, there we go. Ooh, pretty. Okay. I just love how these dies have this detail in them, right? Okay. So that one's done. Now we're going to run through. We have quite a few on this one. So we're going to have this piece and then this piece. Oh, bugger. And then we're going to try running through our other pieces. So this is where I had a trick too. Okay, you know washi tape? We all got some washi tape laying around. Ooh, I actually have some on my machine that I just had sitting there. Okay, so washi tape is really good for putting your dies exactly where you want them. So I have a little magnetic sheet here. I'm going to flip my dies around and then line them up and get them in place. So I am cutting the detail part and I'm cutting around the whole outside. So you will want to then pick it all up and then just make sure that your magnet's not too strong. There we go. Slide it off. Now you have it nice and even. So when you add it to here, which I covered up my piece because that was my long piece. It'll be fine. When you add it to here, you know exactly that those will stay separated. So you can line it up and not have to worry about lining up both pieces. Okay, we'll see how well I did. And let's run this all through. The other thing I would also like to add is when you are running through with white cardstock or like a foil paper, try and have a top plate that doesn't have a lot of cutting or bumps on it, because that will leave your white paper smooth, right? If it's got rumples or things like that, you will absolutely see those indentations when you run that through, especially on the foil paper, especially. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, so we are just gonna slide these off. Now the one we were going for the outline, right? So you see we have two insides, but that's because the outline is still in here. And they will be slightly different size, okay? So I'm not sure. I think this one was, yeah, this fits in here. We're not using this one. We are using this guy here because we're going to tape that or glue that onto there, okay? Now, when we peel back our washi tape, we can just take this guy out. See, now we have a die cut image with that awesome detailing on the inside as well. This one I'll cut out later and just throw it into my bin. Okay, so let's get all of our pieces back in play and throw this machine where it belongs. Okay, thank you, Norma. Yes, Carol, right? You can vouch for the customer service at Stampin' Up. It is astronomical. Astronomical. So, even though our machine might be a little bit more than what you find elsewhere, if there's any issues, you are going to get top-notch service, no questions asked. All right. Now, I could have used, which would have been smart. Oh, I can't do that part yet. Sorry. Stay there. I could have used an adhesive sheet on there, but we'll see. Thank you for liking. And remember, when you give the thumbs up, that you comment, just like Norma did there. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to show you the technique. This technique is also in the new catalog listed on the embossing folders page. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take my embossed image and I'm just going to run it flat. And I'm doing it on the back side because I realized I never cleaned this off after the last time that I used it. So I'm just going to put it on the back side. But you want to make sure that the embossing is like flat. It's not all kittywampus. Just make sure it's flatter. And then you're going to take your color ink and we are going to ink up our awesome brayer. Squeak, squeak, squeak. And I'm just doing tone on tone. If you want a more dramatic look, you can absolutely do a darker color like Petunia Pop on here. But I'm just going to go ahead and roll over. And then what this is going to do is it's just going to pop up that exposed embossed area. So you still get the dark, but keep the light below. And then obviously the more ink you add, the darker it's going to be. All right, that looks good to me. So just another technique. I've always done like where you do sponge over the top, but then that sponge can get into some of the crevices. So here it's only going to hit those layers that are popped up. Now, mind you, I also did this technique with the plaid folder, and I will tell you the plaid folder has a lot of ups and downs in it, and so it doesn't work the best, but you can just, like, it's just paper, right? So you can play around with it and see which embossing folders and stuff you like best. Okay, so that is my first technique for tonight. It's a nice tip. We're just going to cover the whole front of this. This is also a new trend to have the whole front image embossed and not have a border. So you'll kind of see more cards being done that way. A lot of people like to do that with DSP too, but I can tell you that when I cut my DSP, I'm only going to cut it 4 inches wide because I can get more out of it. So, okay, here's where we're going to then glue down this white oval. And I typically will use green glue when I am doing anything with embossing folders, right? Who's with me? Green glue for the win. You guys are awfully quiet tonight too. It's because I came on relatively early and you don't know what to think, maybe. Only one person's eating supper too, or possibly eating supper. We had a pork carnita in the crock pot all day. If you guys do not know, if you have an Aldi's in your area, there is a pork roast and it's flavored carnita. And it is the bomb. The bomb. I threw it in the crock pot this morning at like 8 o'clock on low. And then at 4 o'clock just mushed it apart. Oh, the best. Put it over some biscuits, or you could have it over rice or anything like that. It is so very good. All right. Adding our inside piece. Okay, next we have this piece here. And I did cut these out, but now I remember I didn't end up using them. I actually snipped off the bottom here and used that piece. It's a little longer, right, than those. So it stuck out just the way that I wanted it to. This one here, we have added a little wink of Stella. Just to enhance those lines. It makes it a little darker too. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Let's put some glue on there. Maybe a little further down. Yep. The other thing I like about this card is that it's not like too high of a profile card either. So it's really easy to mail out. Okay. I just got glue all over my finger. Yeah, Tina, you'll have to check that out. Super easy. We have tortillas here somewhere too, so at least I thought we did. So pork carnita tacos are amazing. Okay, now we're left with our sentiment here and glue all over my fingers. So give me a second while I rub that off. We're just going to take this and angle it. Boom. That's going to get some dimensionals. And everything I'm using on this card is carrying over. So if you like what I have or is brand new, if you like what I'm using, no worries, no need to buy it now. However, what I used last week, that stuff is gone. So you want to check that out. Okay. There we go. And then the last part of this was the embellishments. And you guys know I typically do like 3 embellishments, but on this template, it had 5. So I complied. Let me find my embellishments. I did not pull those out. They were, oh my goodness, iridescent pearls. I love these little guys. I'm so happy that they're sticking around. So iridescent pearls. And if you're not familiar with the way that I hold my embellishments, I put them in a case and then I write what they are because they stand straight up in my drawer. I have the IKEA drawers and they stand straight up in there. Work perfectly. And then the cases that I put them in are these vinyl envelopes. They're passport envelopes. And I just get these. I actually have them on a subscription from Amazon. So I have them delivered a package every like 3 months or something like that. And it works great. So when I have like extras, I just combine them all into one little package. All right. So we need 6 total, actually. Come on. Come out, little putty. There we go. So we had 2 down in this area. I'm sorry, 3. 2 next to each other. And 1 up by the sentiment. 1 on the other side of the sentiment. And then 1 up here. And then a thick one up there. Okay. That is our card for this evening. So make sure that you comment on here in order to get a chance to win it. We'll give that away next week. We're already up to 7 likes. So, you know, if we get to 30 likes, I'm going to give away a $15 gift certificate. So you only have until next Tuesday. Today is April 15th. So next Tuesday would be April 22nd, 2025 to do that. Hello, Eunice. Thank you. And then I will show you guys the second technique that I showcased at my event. And then I will show you the scrapbook page that goes along with it. So you guys know that I absolutely love white ribbon, right? So we color white ribbon all the time, like all the time. Any ribbon we can color with our awesome Stampin' blends, right? Well, I was doing this page and I wanted to use some foil, but I did not have any colored foil. So I used Stampin' blends to color the foil. And this is just a sample. So I'll show you what it looks like before it dries because I was a little scared as well, right? I just need a piece of scrap paper. So when you, let me see, I'm going to try doing it closer to the screen. When you color on it, it's going to kind of be a little streaky. Like you can see that, right? And then if you keep going over it, you just get more of the streaks. So just give it a good color, a good coating, because when it dries, it's going to dry more solid. The darker images, you can see more of the streaks, but like that's going to be just perfectly fine. If you let it dry and then you go over it again, you're still going to have the same streaks. It's a non-porous paper. So I would just go over it once and that's the color it is. If you don't like that color, grab a darker blend or a lighter blend and do it again. Let's try, oh, you know what? I didn't do black. Let's look at black on here. Oh, and that you can really see the streakiness. But once it dries, that's where you really see that shimmer come through. So that's just another, like we have silver foil in the catalog. And I will show you the scrapbook page that I made. All right. Here we go. So this is my niece and I went to a little birthday trip to the Fox Valley area. That's Appleton and Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And this is template number 3 on the scrapbooking templates of the annual catalog, the new annual catalog. So you can see we went to Aunt Annie's, to Cold Stone, to Chick-fil-A. She tried on a whole bunch of dresses for her for her confirmation, and we just had a lot of fun. We stopped by the Easter Bunny. So you can kind of just see. Let me point out a few things. At the top, you'll see I did embossing the whole time across. We don't have embossing folders that are 12 inches long. So the first side is one way, and then the second side is the other. So you can barely see that seam there, right? And you can barely tell the butterflies are upside down. It's just butterflies. Here, you can see on the letters I use the foil. Here I use the foil. Down here on the big butterfly, there's some embossing back here too. Just, yeah, all the cool things. This paper, so everything on here is also carrying over to the big catalog. So if this is something you want to recreate, you absolutely can. I'm all for sharing and caring, right? So also don't forget about your markers. That's what I use to write our little things here. So, and she ended up hating that. Well, I shouldn't say hating, but she did not want me to buy this dress. Oh, see, she didn't want to try it on either. And that's the only dress we ended up buying. Well, I bought it, even though she said she wasn't ever going to wear it. And then, let me tell you, when we got it back home, everybody loved it. And so, yeah, it should be all good to go. But anyhow, oh, I love this picture too. See, you can see proud Auntie taking pictures of her. So anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight. I'm going to go eat some supper so that when it comes time to go to the movies, I'll have room for popcorn. And then make sure to comment and like to get your name entered in to win one of these cards for next week. So I hope you guys have a great evening, and I will chat with you all later. Bye-bye.